How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a very early starting lineup prediction video for the New Mexico State Aggies. We have 13 players on the team currently. I said multiple times, I'm pretty sure Coach Hooten will sign another guy or two, and there's always a chance that guys could possibly back out last second and try to commit to another school. Hopefully that doesn't happen, and I don't think it will. But maybe Coach Hooten has another guy, another post who I think has a good chance of starting, because right now there's really only two posts to choose from, and we have 4 forwards, 7 guards. As you guys know, we're very guard heavy, so things could definitely change. So I'm going to make 2 prediction videos unless it just stays the exact same. I'm going to give you guys this one today, an early one here in June. June just started, so new month. And this season doesn't start for another 5 months, so I'll plan to make another one, closer to the season. So this is going to be my very early prediction video. So if I had to make a prediction for the starting point guard for this upcoming season based on what we know, I would say it's going to be Elijah Elliott. He's 6'1", 175, so it'd be kind of hard for him to play any other position. I know Liberty had a few guards who were like 5'9", playing the 2. So, it just really depends on how the team fits. We have a lot of, big, strong, athletic guards, lengthy guards. So I feel like more than likely he'll play the 1. And who knows, maybe he'll come off the bench, maybe he'll start. But, regardless of what happens, I think he's going to get a whole lot of playing time. Considering last year, he's coming off an injury, he's going to be ready to come out and just fight, play like a dog. And I think he's got a lot of great experience playing at the Division I level. Has had a few seasons of scoring double figures at the Division I level, averaging that. So if I had to make a prediction for the starting point guard, I would say it's going to be him. Alongside him in the backcourt, I think Jamel Jones will fit in perfectly. Jamel Jones could probably play point guard as well, but there might be times he plays the 1, certain plays where it may be, and maybe he's more of a primary 1, not too sure. But him being 6'4", I feel like he'd be more of a 2, playing alongside Elijah Elliott. I think for sure Jamel Jones is a starter to lock in. I'd be very surprised if he's not starting. So maybe he plays the 1, and maybe Coach Hooten has another guy play the 2. So it could always switch up. But regardless, I think Jamel Jones is starting for sure. So if one of those 2 guys weren't going to start, it'd be Elijah Elliott, in my opinion. And again, maybe we'll switch it around. But Jamel Jones is for sure going to be a great player. Again, maybe Hooten likes him better at the 1. Which could definitely be a possibility, and he's obviously going to know better than me. But just considering Jamel Jones and how great of a basketball player he is, averaging 19 points per game last year, averaging nearly 20 in college is not an easy feat whatsoever. So for him to do that, he's definitely going to be one of our top guys for sure, if not our top guy, and might be the first guy to average almost 20 since Teddy Allen. When it comes to the forward position, I think both the 3 and 4 can kind of interchange. I think Julius Mims is definitely a starting caliber player. I've talked a lot about this with Terriante Thomas, one of the assistant coaches. He's really excited to have him on the team, and he's been saying a lot of good things about him and how he's going to fit the program well and the culture well. So all the great things he's been saying about him, I think he's definitely a starter. He started many games this past 2 years at Idaho. I know we have Jacoby Osborne as well, Marvin Cox. He obviously redshirted last year. Julius Mims has way more experience and is the better player at the time. Marvin Cox can definitely develop, but I think Julius Mims will definitely have the upper on him. Biggest thing with Cox is he, has experience, playing under Coach Hooten's system last year. Same with Jacoby Osborne, and Jacoby Osborne, he's going to be a dog, going to play a lot of minutes for us. Not sure if he's going to start or not. Definitely capable of, because I know he almost had a few games last year where he started. And while I don't think he's going to be a starter this year, I do think he'll get a lot of PT. I just think Julius Mims is going to be a dog for us and do a lot of great things on the defensive and offensive end. Not sure if he'll average double figures like he did a few years ago. He averaged 8 and 6 last year, 11 and 9 the year before, I think. He almost averaged a double-double. But I think he's going to be very, very impactful and do a lot of great things for us for sure. I think Kyrie Mullen will help him in the front court. He's a guy that averaged 14 points per game at Hampton a few years ago, and in both his freshman and junior season, he averaged 7 points. So he's a guy that's going to come in next year. Again, so many guys have averaged double figures in the past. It's going to be hard for them to do that all together, but I still think he can be, a 7-8 point per game guy, be consistent with that, and just grab a lot of boards. And his defense isn't as great as Julius Mims, but I think he can still bring it there if he needs to. And I think he's just going to be a rebounding machine. I think we're going to see a lot of double-doubles from him. It's going to be hard for him to average a double-double in the season, but I think he'll definitely average a near double-double for sure. When it comes to our post centers, whatever you want to call them, as of right now, there's really only 2 options, and those are Augustine Ekwe, an incoming freshman, and Sear Malonga, who is going to be an incoming junior who had a great high school career. Despite Sear not playing the greatest in college so far, he has a lot more experience than Augustine does, and he can definitely develop. So if I had to get the edge to anybody, it would be Sear Malonga. I feel like Hooten's a guy that goes based off experience, and with Sear Malonga obviously having the more experience playing college basketball, I think he's a guy that he'll go to. And I think he's a guy that, he's 7 foot. He's going to be a really great addition to us, really lengthy. And I feel like this might be the program for him. Hooten and his staff, when he was at Sam Houston and even here at NMSU, has done a pretty good job at developing our posts. As you guys know, this past season, we talked about multiple times how our posts didn't get out to the greatest start, but they developed a lot throughout the year. And obviously that's to their work ethic, that's great. But I think it also has to do a lot with Hooten and, the coaching system that he's put together. And at Sam Houston State, he's had many great posts, one of them being Casey, who played for us for a year. That center one's really hard to predict. I could see it going either way. And I could also see Hooten picking up another dominant big that's for sure a starter right at the bat. When it comes to our forwards, I think those are both pretty good picks. I do think Jacoby Osborne could definitely fit in there. Marvin Cox, not 100% sure, but I think he can at least slide into the rotation possibly. I just think Mullen and Julius Mims are both good picks just because they have a lot more experience in college basketball, have experience just, scoring a lot of points and grabbing a lot of rebounds and doing it great on the defensive end. But do not be surprised at all if Jacoby Osborne is not in that lineup at all, because I think he'll definitely be up there for sure. Don't be surprised if Jacoby Osborne takes on that spot, because he could definitely take it. He's a guy that, late in the season, Coach Hooten was looking for guys to slide in the rotation and take someone else's spot, and that was Jacoby Osborne that did it. So if there's someone to take a spot, a starting role, it definitely could be him. And, last year, Carl Scherfont was a guy that started a few games that people were, expecting to do a lot of great things. And, he had his moments and stuff. I feel like Jacoby's a guy that can take on that role and exceed even more. Like I was saying earlier about Jamel Jones, he's a for sure locked-in starter. Again, I'd be super surprised if he's not starting. Deontay Bostic's a guy that I thought was going to be like that last year, and he did start a handful of games. But there's also some games he came out the bench. But I think Jamel Jones, if he's not starting, I'd be very, very surprised. I think the only way he doesn't start is if he does something off the court that's really bad, that pisses off Coach Hooten. And I think that's the only way he doesn't start. I think he's going to be, again, one of our top guys, if not our top guy. And he'll definitely play the 1 or 2. And again, maybe Coach Hooten want to go more big. Maybe he'll slide in, a 6'5" Randall. Or maybe he'll keep it at the 6'1" Elijah Elliott at point guard. Last year we had Zodie Jackson starting. He's 6 foot, just like me. We have Chris Terrell, who came in, who was also 6 foot, coming from the Division II level, just like Zodie. So maybe he keeps some familiarity there. Obviously, Chris is, really, really good. Averaged 21 points per game at D2 Delta State. So maybe he goes with him instead. Maybe Chris is the better player. Maybe it's Elijah. Again, we have to see these guys play together. Obviously, Elijah has a lot more experience playing Division I basketball, but Chris Terrell definitely has more experience, putting the ball in the hoop. At multiple different levels. Elijah Elliott and both Chris Terrell, they both played at the JUCO level at one point. So it'll be really interesting to see what goes on there. Those are just my predictions, and again, it's way too early to tell. I've never seen these guys play together. If I was able to see a full practice of these guys like a week before the season starts, I would obviously have a lot more of an idea. And I'm sure there's a lot, people that, might be able to see their practices that work for the team and stuff that are watching this video. So if you guys are watching this video, let me know in the comments what your predictions are or what the team's looking like. And just in general, fans, let me know who you think will be starting. Even if you don't get like your whole starting 5, just at least name a few players that you think will be starting. Tell me what you agree with me and what you don't agree with me. I do want to mention before I close out the video that the Aggies did offer David Loon. If you guys don't know who that is, I don't know if it's Loon or Lund. I think it's this Lund. I can't remember exactly. But he plays basketball at Volcano Vista in Albuquerque, and they've won 4 straight state championships, 2 with Lund. He is an incoming junior, so he's super young. So that's 2 years ago. He's been offered by multiple schools. I can't remember if UNM's offered him as well, but I know he's been offered from a bunch. And obviously NMSU, we offered him. A bunch of our assistant coaches follow him, including my account as well. And he's a guy that's super, super good. And he's one of those guys that from New Mexico, I think could be a very, very good Division I basketball player. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to go somewhere else out of state, because I think he's that good. But if we could land him, and have him, in a few years, it'd be like Gabe Pickens, Jacoby Osborne senior year, I believe. So pairing them with a young guy like that, I feel like they could really help develop him. And then we're obviously have another New Mexico native, Marvin Cox, who can hopefully develop well. It's great to have those in-state guys and have some local guys. Those are guys you can, I wouldn't say guaranteed to stay all 4 years, but guys that know the area, that love the area. If they're lived here, in New Mexico their whole life and want to stay in New Mexico, that's saying a lot. That's going to close it out for the video today. Again, please let me know in the comments below if you agree with my starting lineup prediction or if there's anything else you would change. Let me know if there's any updates that you guys know that I don't know. Like there might be other players that we offer that I haven't heard about. Obviously talked about David in this one, high school athlete. There's been a bunch of high school players we're offering. And it's great to build those, players for the future. Just, that way we have an idea of who we could possibly pick up, and then, going with a lot of college players as well. And a lot of times those incoming freshmen, they're not going to have, a whole lot of opportunities compared to the other guys that have played college basketball for years. And especially with how sports are now in college, you got guys playing 6 or 7 years. Really hard for those guys to develop as much as they used to. But hopefully those young guys can just come in and be great if they choose to come here or wherever they go. And obviously our young guys next year, Omar Smith and Augustine Ekwe, hopefully they can come in and get some big minutes, kind of like Gabe Pickens and Jacoby Osborne did last year. I think both these 2 incoming guys can do similar things like they did and have a great future with us alongside them. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm out.